Howdy folks, we're going to do some cooking. We're going to make some chili on a charcoal grill. This is a cast aluminum Dutch oven. Looks like a pot, but it's much thicker, dissipates the heat better. And enough on that, let's get started. I'm going to take 2 ounces of butter. I'm going to drop it into the pan, let it melt down. While that's melting down, while it's melting down, I'm going to move on to the next ingredients. By the way, you notice this, the lid on this pan is serrated. You can actually cook on top of the lid. It's serrated so the food doesn't slide in the middle. I've never actually done this, but they tell me it works. Alright, so as this butter is melting down, and it's getting there, we're going to add a few more ingredients. Now this is always, people say, why make chili in the summer? But people just get tired of hot dogs and hamburgers, and what can you really do with a hot dog? Wrap it in a taco? Yeah, maybe. Well, it's starting to break down, so add an onion and about 4 cloves of garlic. Put them in the same container because I'm going to be the one washing them. And in they go. Now we don't want them to brown, just to wilt. And along with that, I'm going to add a jalapeno pepper. And in addition to this, I'm going to add some red and green peppers and a jalapeno pepper. Actually half of one. Pulled the seeds but kept the membrane so the heat will stay. Well, these don't have to go very long, a couple minutes. And they're starting to sizzle right now. Once they break down, once they wilt, we'll be ready for the next ingredient, or series of. People look at this and say, it's not a Dutch oven. They're looking more like these. These are the old style Dutch ovens, cast iron, legs. These are great, but they're not the thing for backpackers. They'll be carrying this thing up a mountain. These can be stacked. These can't. By the way, the rule for Dutch ovens, those that can fit coals on the lid, is a 10-inch oven, 5 coals under, 10 coals on the lid. And that can be expanded regardless of the size. I've seen Dutch ovens up to 40 gallon. I've heard they make them bigger. Much bigger than that, you're going to need a crane to lift the lid. And let's see where we're at here. Well, the wilting process is gone here. It's going on. And it looks like we might be ready to add something else. So inside here I'm going to add one can of pinto beans, undrained. 1 can of tomatoes undrained. And we're going to let it bring up to a simmer again. I mean, you can call this any kind of chili you want. Just a home brew. But sometimes it's really nice when, especially if you have guests, you don't feel like running inside and cooking. And like I said, everybody has hamburgers and hot dogs and sausages, and I mean, it just kills you, you know? It's like, wow, we're going to have hamburgers and hot dogs and potato chips. You're going to have macaroni salad too? Oh, yeah. Oh, man, how novel. I would never have expected that. And we're just waiting on the fire. It's amazing how quick charcoal burns until you put something on it. Now we're going to add a little bit of oregano. And a little bit of pepper. And while we were gone, I added some tomato paste. Now we're ready for the fish. I've got about half a pound of haddock, three quarters of a pound of cod, and in they go. We're going to put the lid on this, and we're going to let it go for about 4 to 5 minutes. Well, it's been 5 minutes. We're going to add somewhere between a half and 3/4 of a pound of raw, cleaned and deveined shrimp. And about a dozen or so little neck clams. And we're going to let it brew.